Birdman and the Galaxy Trio, the fond memories of this amazing cartoon show. Tales of a young man powered by the sun, extraterrestrial superheroes, and distant planets. Birdman and the Galaxy Trio offers everything one wishes to see in a superhero show and then some more. The show follows the story of Birdman, an ordinary man who becomes a superhero after being gifted powers by the sun god himself. Moreover, it also includes a segment dedicated to the Galaxy Trio that fought crimes in space. Created by Alex Toth in the 1960s, this show was a breath of fresh air, and it was packed with adventures and science fiction. It was aired every Saturday on NBC, and every episode was divided into 3 segments, with each having a different storyline. Let us explore more about this gem of a show from decades ago and reminisce our fond memories with it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Out before they reach target.
What was the show all about? Birdman and the Galaxy Trio was an animated superhero TV series that was broadcasted on NBC and ran for a period of 2 years from 1967 to 1969. The show included 2 entirely different storylines, where the first segment focused on Birdman, a winged superhero, and the second segment was about the Galaxy Trio. The Galaxy Trio wandered around the universe helping other intergalactic beings and fighting many villains in space on their adventures. Though the show was named Birdman and the Galaxy Trio, they did not work together and had different stories even within the same episode. The episodes had a runtime of 22 minutes. They were typically divided into 3 segments, where Birdman got the first and last segment, and the Galaxy Trio's adventures were written into the second segment.
Must concentrate all my solar power in one beam.
The show was mainly about the winged superhero Birdman, who fought against various entities across the cosmos and was in charge of avoiding disasters or crises in the world. The show also had many supporting characters such as Bird Boy, General Stone, and Falcon 7. And the Birdman universe was quite vast and full of superheroes and evil characters with their own personal agendas. Even though the show only had 20 episodes, it was jam-packed with stories from across the universe. The episodes were centered on planets ranging from Earth to Mars, and faraway and fictitious places like Centauri 3rd and Vector V16, which made the show even more enjoyable to watch.
I've got to stop it with solar blasts.
What made the show so special? Birdman was one of the many animated shows that ran on TV back then, and it managed to capture the audience's attention with storylines based in space and spanning across the vast universe. Considering the fact that this was a superhero show in the 60s, the creators deserve a lot of credit for making the animation look so good. It also had commendable sound effects and music, and the concept of 3 segments with entirely different stories made it stand out among other cartoon shows of that time. Sometimes the episodes included crossovers or had continued storylines from the previous episodes, and in that case, fans eagerly waited for the next episodes to come out the following week. Overall, it was a pretty well-made show with animation and storylines that were quite ahead of its time. Though it was not as mainstream as other superhero comics or series, Birdman had its own artistic style and charm that eventually attracted many dedicated fans. What made the winged superhero so popular? Voiced by Keith Andes, Birdman, or Ray Randall, was an ordinary young man until he was gifted his superpowers by none other than the sun god Ra. After being blessed with superpowers, Randall went by the name Birdman, and he was soon recruited by the government to fight crime. He had the ability to shoot solar rays from his fists, and he could also cast massive solar shields that could block any and all attacks of his opponents. Moreover, Birdman was also given wings by the sun god Ra. He could fly across the universe with the help of the giant wings that were attached to his body. However, Birdman's superpowers were not handed to him easily and came at a cost. He had to repeatedly recharge these powers by exposing himself to the sun's rays for them to work seamlessly. After getting his superpowers, Birdman was hired by a top-secret government agency known as the Internation Security to carry out missions across the universe. He then gave up his regular human life to become a full-time superhero and strived for the safety of his planet. Birdman had a signature move wherein he shouted out his name loudly before getting into any fights against his opponents. He also had a pet eagle named Avenger that assisted him and also acted as a sidekick in his missions. Moreover, Birdman met many allies, such as Falcon 7, who worked in the Internation Security while fighting across the universe. He also fought against various supervillains such as Dr. Millennium and mercenaries such as X the Eliminator. Birdman once also saved a young boy from dying by transferring some of his powers into him, following which the young boy took the name Bird Boy and became Birdman's new sidekick. On the other hand, the Galaxy Trio consisted of 3 superheroes known as Vapor Man, Meteor Man, and Gravity Girl. The trio lived in space and wandered around the universe in a space cruiser titled Condor 1, which had a feature allowing them to teleport to anywhere in the universe. They were a part of the Galactic Patrol, and all the members had different powers that helped them fight against crime in space. The Galaxy Trio was overlooked by the Chief, who was sort of a commander that handed out missions to the trio. The first member of the Galaxy Trio was Vapor Man from the planet Vaporous, and he was voiced by Don Messick. As the name suggests, Vapor Man could turn into vapor and even create different kinds of vaporous substances with his hands. Additionally, he could also fly across the universe in his vaporous form and even escape confinement by vaporizing himself and squeezing through small spaces. Voiced by Ted Cassidy, Meteor Man was the second member of the trio, and he came from the planet Meteorus. His special powers included enlarging or reducing the size of any of his limbs. He also gained superhuman strength in the enlarged body parts, which helped him in combat. Finally, the third member of the Galaxy Trio was Gravity Girl. Voiced by Virginia Eiler, Gravity Girl was the daughter of the ruler of the planet Gravitas. And though she came from a privileged background, Gravity Girl abandoned all her luxuries at a young age and wanted to fight crime instead. She was then recruited by the Galactic Patrol and soon became a part of the Galaxy Trio. Galaxy Girl had the ability to control gravity and even change the laws of gravity at her convenience. As a result, she could fly around the universe and even lift heavy objects with just her mind. The trio fought against many villains in space, and some of them appeared quite a few times in the show as they created trouble across the universe. Some of these villains included Computron, who was a rogue robot from the planet Orbis, and Lotar from planet Aqueous. After Birdman and the Galaxy Trio was cancelled, Birdman's character remained quite popular, and audiences liked seeing him on the screen. He was then included in shows such as Space Ghost Coast to Coast and Harvey Birdman by Cartoon Network.
More power! More!
Conclusion. Birdman and the Galaxy Trio was a highly regarded superhero cartoon series in the 1960s. It was a fun program, with storylines about supernatural entities and heroes fighting villains all throughout the universe, and viewers anxiously awaited new episodes every week. Even now, every discussion of the show is filled with nostalgia and appreciation as fans reminisce about this popular cartoon show from decades ago. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.